In this interview series, Rick Stiggins, founder and president of the Assessment Training Institute and Classroom Assessment Authority, promotes the effective use of formative assessment to support student learning success. He does so by answering a series of 11 questions posed to him by the Alberta Assessment Consortium. How can we help governing bodies and the public place greater value in classroom assessment?
You know, our national and provincial or state and local educational policymakers, as well as school leaders, face a huge challenge here. They are faced with the need to set assessment policy, frankly, with little understanding about the differences between sound and unsound practice. They're doing the best job they can, but the fact is they've not been given the kind of background training needed to set sound assessment policy. We call this assessment literacy, that is an understanding of the basic principles of sound assessment, and they've not been given an opportunity to develop appropriate levels of assessment literacy, and what results from this often are bad policies that damage the quality of schools. The classic example of this is policymakers want to use change in annual standardized test scores as a part of the teacher evaluation process. Well, that use of those scores is patently indefensible for a wide variety of technical and practical reasons. It's possible to consider student achievement in teacher evaluation, but not in that way. And the question is, why don't policymakers understand that? Well, because they've not been given the opportunity. And the fact is, our communities just assume that the high-level policymakers know what they're doing. If they don't know that, because our communities have not been given the opportunity to develop an understanding of sound practice in order to demand better. Look, this is a real problem. We can't be societies obsessed with test scores that know so little about where they come from, what they mean, what to do with them, and what we can't do with them. We simply can't continue. We've had decades of this going on, and enough is enough. We need to build a policymaker understanding of the basic principles of sound assessment. Now, who's going to help them do that? Well, it's going to be local school leaders and teachers. But they too have little formal training in the basic principles of sound assessment very often, and so they're ill-equipped to educate policymakers. This is a very real issue. Our objective is to gather dependable evidence and use it effectively to support learners. That's the classroom level of assessment, and we need for our communities and policymakers to understand that. This is the purview of formative assessment. It has the power to improve school quality. Look, we know how to fix. This is an imbalance that we know how to fix. We better get about the task of getting in balance and getting there soon.